already about Revolte picking the terrorist side and cash. Maybe we see them pick the terrorist side again.
I mean, Dust2 and Cash are both somewhat terrorist-sided, so I don't think that it's that big of a surprise, to be honest. But I'm kind of hoping that if they do decide to play a double op setup, Revolt, I definitely hope it's not Zero, because you know, an Orbit doesn't necessarily need good aim. It just needs to be able to hold angles and you know, have good positioning. And Zero's rifle aim is so fantastic that if they would be without that, you know, it's going to be tough. But yeah, we're going to see the teams swap sides here, and it is CSGO 1 going to be starting off the CT side. I do believe they even, you know, that should be their pick. So I actually kind of missed the end of the knife run, but I do believe it was CSGO 1 who won it, and they picked CT side. So that's also somewhat interesting. But sometimes you feel more confident playing on the lesser favored side from the start of the game.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just, you know, on the CT side you don't have to take the initiative, even though we see CSGO and take the initiative already. And they push into a long trying to get the frags from behind, but they quickly realize that there's not too much to gain. Flashy tries to come back as Taboo picks off Zero already. Taboo with the second one saving his teammate's day. Flashy staying alive with 14 HP. How did he not get that kill over there? That is the huge question for me right now.
Yeah, and it seems like Deadfox is going to be the last man here on the front lines. He is going to go down, so the A bomb site is in the hands of the terrorist players. Ney put a bit of spam through this smoke, and he is going to connect slightly. He does actually drop RML very low, and we'll see what happens here in this retake scenario.
Flashy on 1 HP, received 99 damage, still staying alive. The terrorists, however, have planted a bomb, but now it's up to Foda to defend it. He picks up the double kill, and it's only Flashy. He just needs to touch him, basically, and he will kill him with a headshot. That's the overkill for Foda, the triple for Revolt. And they start off another game with a very good pistol round, and just an awesome start for them.
Yeah, there was definitely miscommunication at the start of the round. We talked about how Flashy did not go down, and I was also quite surprised. They had two guys pushing top mid, and they had a guy, we had a terrorist player in lower, and yet the guy in lower decided to actually push out mid instead of just, you know, trying to just get that easy frag. But the terrorists are speeding up so fast here. Gabeson takes down Taboo, and Zero also drops Ney, so Maeve gets a jump-in headshot from Barcode, and another, and now Flashy is the last man standing, and he is not going to be standing for long. So another pretty easy round for Revolt. I said another, but the pistol round, in fact, a bit of a hard one.
Yeah.
But, on the cash game, you know, there were a lot
in
of...
hindsight, everything is easy. You know, you can just look back at it and come on, we had that sealed from the get-go. No, but to be honest, the B rush, it can turn out really risky sometimes if they get those first frags, and we might see that turn out a little more risky than it was in the previous one with the first frag and favor of CTs. Barcode comes back with the Uzi and another trade, so it's already quite expensive for the terrorists to get this round on the board. And considering Flash is still around with the P250, this could be the game changer right now.
Yeah, but he needs to land a 6 shot, and he can't really because he's trying to shoot through smoke. Now they're going to be coming in from dark, and they have the range advantage on the terrorist side, so Flashy also going to be dropping. And once again, I feel we can make a case about miscommunication here with Taboo sitting behind the headshot box. Not behind the headshot box, behind the big box, apologies. And he had a teammate set up towards Car, and it was a perfect crossfire setup had they peeked together, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's been a lot of miscommunication so far, but RML makes no mistake, takes down Taboo through the door, and that is a fantastic start to the round.
Indeed, and now it's Deadfox not getting his shot, but at least Ney closes out the B bomb site. So it's back to a 4v4, 1 minute 25 on the clock. The terrorists taking control of B tunnels again. The CTs trying to fall back into more defensive positions, leaving mid and A short open at the same time. That is quite risky for them because they have no information what is going on in the middle part of the map, and the terrorists need to find out and abuse that fact.
Yeah, we're seeing a 4 versus 4 situation, so the terrorists for once have decided to take a bit of a slower round, and it looks like it's going to be the classic B split, but Flashy is going to pick up the first. That's Gabeson, and Barco now gets 1 frag, so the B site might be open if they can land this frag onto Ney. He's doing a good job at actually hiding from the various angles that he could have been peeked from, but is later on taken out by I believe it was RML. So retake scenario once again. Barcode sitting in the smokes, very sneaky positioning.
Deadfox not checking around him. Barcode coming back through the smoke. Just an easy frag for him. Disposing of the AWP player. Maeve quickly tries to get away with his life right now. But he's not quite sure if lower tunnels is clean, so he has to wait a little bit. And now he runs into the big problem of Foda being behind him and one other terrorist sitting in front of him. It's RML. Maeve putting down the first one. RML is not going to push him and not going to contest his weapon anymore. He wants to save his own AWP. Revolte pick up the 4-0 lead. And even though they take some casualties, it's still quite some money on their accounts with 6 and 5k for 2 players.
Yeah. Now the decision that a lot of teams make right now is to put the rifle on a single player on the site, and it is possible that we're going to be seeing Maeve playing B side alone. Currently he's, working towards mid, but stacking kind of the players on one side and then the rifle on the other, the different players on one side, that usually works out pretty well. But currently it's not working out at all. They're just getting entry to every single place on the map here, and Tabu is the last man standing, and he doesn't really seem like he's going to be finding anything, and he isn't. So a clean sweep from Revolte. Good economy.
Yeah, that is boosting their economy quite a bit, and it is going to play a big role if the CTs manage to string rounds together, which is maybe not going to happen, but we might see that. Deadfox with the AWP back at it, and the Danes, your fellow countrymen, they really need to do something for their squad. They need to pick up some more frags, and this one, that's the first frag on the B bomb, so the second one follows right away, and Nay will make it a triple. I was about to say he started off a round with 1 frag already, but then they faded away. Now he put down his foot, he says, okay, here is a wall, I will put down this wall and you cannot pass. Zero and RML are not out of the round yet. They still have some equipment, but the bomb has been dropped inside the B bomb site, and it's not going to help Zero that he captured A.
No, and Deadfox is sitting in a very good position down into CT spawn. He's just watching because they know the Zero is probably on the A bomb site, and it should be a battle that Deadfox will be winning here, and he does actually. So Zero drops down, and that's a 1 versus 5 situation for RML. As soon as this guy is spotted, the pop flash is going to come from Nay, and he's going to be going down no matter what. So he's not going to even be able to save his rifle. Yeah, there we go. A clean sweep this time from the other team.
Yeah, and the quad kill for Nay.
Yeah,
we started off with a triple already, and the triple was way more important. The last one was kind of a low impact frag, which is a word that gets picked up quite a lot lately. The impact of the frags gets analyzed upon a lot more than it was in the previous months and years of CSGO. But the triple kill was just stopping the terrorists in their tracks. Revolte is once again starting off with B.
Yeah, and that's also the thing. The reason why the Franks were so impactful is not only because, he wins pretty much the round just on that, but at the same time, now they know that B is on lockdown, and maybe they don't want to come rushing in the next time. So they've been taking B a few rounds in a row, and it's working out really well for them. Now this time, they're going to be trying to do the same thing with the B split, and Nay might just be the guy to stop them once again, and they're just so flash. Nay picks up the first. Can he find more? Not quite. They're going to be just charging through flash in a fantastic position. Takes out only 1 though, and now Deadfox has to try and come and clean up after his teammate. He doesn't quite find the angle here and goes down to 0, so it's all left to Maeve, and it seems like he's the guy who's left alone in clutch scenarios all the time. There's not really much he can do from them. Give the guy a fair chance to actually show his talent here, and so far he hasn't really.
Yeah, there were quite a few things that went wrong for CSGO 1. First, it was Nay not being able to decide which one to shoot, as we see RML tagging Nay on the way to the B bomb, so it's weakened a little bit, but let's keep on talking about the previous one. As Nay couldn't decide on which one to shoot. He had 3 targets. He kind of shot in the middle and didn't get a frag at all. And then it was Deadfox being weary about the smoke play that he went down to earlier on. So that slowed him down, and now it's up to Revolte getting another round as Flashy is alone on platform. He calls in for the rotation and gets good support by Maeve. It is a 2v4, and the terrorists have 1 key player, Barcode, coming in from long. He picks off Maeve, and RML gets another one, drawing it back to 2v2. The bomb is in the hands of the terrorists, and the smoke in place in CT spawn. So let's see what Ney can do. Nothing.
Yeah, he gets totally caught out there. A bit of a, you know, why does he not even have the thought that there might be a guy looking along with Tabby with a great shot? He needs to find another though. He's going for the Kukli shot. Not going to happen this time around. Tries again. Doesn't fire though, and it's a 1 versus 1 and it's very intense. The mind game's going on here. Tabu gets a bit of a spray through and he does actually manage to land the frag. So second round on the board here for the, I was going to say the Hungarians, but that doesn't really help us much. So we're going to say CSGO 1 instead. And yeah, it's a very, very good round for Tabu. Well played.
Yeah, they somewhat whittle down the economy now, and the terrorists are going to worry about that in a few moments because they realize, okay, we have 0 money on RML, we have 2 players with below 1,000, so we might run into some trouble. We really need to pick it up again. Trading rounds back and forth is not going to help us in the long run, and losing battles like that is not going to help them at all. The first real attempt on taking a long control early on in the round, and they were completely stomped.
Yeah, and as I said, when they tried to take B the other round, let's actually see what Ney has got in store for us this time around. He's trying to see if he can find anybody from mid. He's getting good backup from Flashy. There's the mid smoke, the CT smoke that usually blocks off the vision from the A side, not thrown, and it's crucial, but that's because of the lack of money here on the players. Not all of them can actually afford to buy a smoke, and it's going to be a very hard 2 versus 5 scenario here from RML and Zero. They're going to have to hit some amazing shots to get their way back into this. Tabu is playing this very well. He then calls for backup from his teammate, and they can simply stop Zero from ever getting into the site, and that's phenomenal play.
Yeah, we saw a similar situation in the previous one, still being turned around into 2v2 by the terrorists, but this time around CSGO 1 had 5 players. There were almost no holes in their defense, and they supported each other very well. As you said, the smoke was lacking, so the equipment value already came into play in this one. And Revolte are going for the somewhat mixed buy, AK for Barcode, and 3 grenades only for 0.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the fast B play once again. Ney with a great Molotov. That's going to be a lot of damage, and combined with a nade, that's just going to rip them apart. Tabu and Ney combining brilliantly. Look at this, 4 franks already. That's fantastic play. And our Barcode is the sole survivor in this 1 versus 5 situation. He really needs to come up clutch if he wants to have any chance of actually getting back into this round, but he's already dropping far too low to make this any easier. And Ney, another 4K. The guy is going off. 12 kills in 10 rounds.
Yeah, this time around they really fed him the frags because they sent in their, so to speak, weak players first. The Tech 9 was designed to cause some trouble, but since he went down straight away, that didn't really work out for Revolte. CSGO 1 are getting back where a CT team needs to be, having some sturdy defenses, building up some confidence, building up trust in each other, and now they are back in their default play. They're feeling comfortable right now.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling confident and comfortable as well. You know, it looks like they've been kind of easing into this game the further that we're going, and a lot of miscommunication at the start, but right now it seems like they're supporting each other better than E-Frag ever did in the game before. They're going to try to do the B split here once again. Yeah, they're just locked out of the site.
Their most successful execution up to this point. Gabeson is going to open it up. Taboo is taken out as well after only taking down 1. And as quickly as that, the terrorists have the round under control. Even though Maeve comes back with a backstab onto RML, who previously backstabbed the CT. It is really an uphill struggle for CSGO 1. Not only because Maeve has traveled up to the B bomb site through the slope, but also because they're down a man and the terrorists have planted a bomb just now. Maeve is already on the doorstep. He's going to get support, but the terrorists have 0 lurking in lower tunnels. If CSGO 1 doesn't hurry up, he is going to backstab them once again, and he is there. Oh, he didn't spot that Fox at first, but luckily for him, he did just in time.
Yeah, and I've talked about, the pre-game. I talked about Dead Fox needing to step up because he is kind of a carry here for CSGO 1, and so far, 3 kills in 11 rounds, that's just not good enough. Not even if you are just a regular player on the team, but going to be trying to open up middle, and he just can't do that. RML once again finds an entry frag, and his AWP is just too on point today. And
yeah, the AWP playing its role. And it's once again the B-bomb side, and they have to stop doing that. Ney has him undercover. I mean, there's no way that they can break him anymore. He is so confident. He's got his spray settled, and whenever they try, he's coming up big.
Yeah, the B site is just on full lockdown right now. They have given up A-bomb site, so that site is definitely the opposite of on lockdown. They are going to be getting a bomb plan here. That might be very helpful as their economy is a bit bad. So Flashy trying to see if he can actually get up from CT, but so far they're all just smoked out of the site.
Yeah, maybe getting a few more frags is already an objective for Revolte. Just making it more expensive, and they will achieve that goal, at least Zero. Zero with the double kill right now. RML is still in slope. This is going to be hard for the CTs to retake. RML comes up big with Ney, and Maeve is up against 2 terrorists. He's on the defuse already, and he will stick to the bomb. Zero is coming for him, but it's not going to be, oh, it is going to be enough. Zero wins the round for Revolte, but what a play by Maeve.
Yeah, that is definitely down to the wire. You know, Maeve, it's actually a rather good idea. The problem is just this, that there is this death cam that shows kind of your perspective of when you, your perspective you had when you died for 6 more seconds. But let us just hold on to that fact. Maeve and Deadfox dropping already. Foda gonna just be dropping one of them actually. I thought he was gonna get more, but RML also dropping one, and Zero getting a frag as well. So Tabu, last man standing, and it seems like either CSGO 1, you know, kind of struggle to get around, or they just downright get dominated. So there's not many clean rounds for them, or even, you know, dominant rounds.
Yeah.
That is going to be a problem, because with only 4 rounds, it's not that much, and if all of your rounds are, you know, clutches won, and these rounds where honestly you shouldn't really be winning them, then the light at the end of the tunnel gets darker and darker.
Yeah. So let's get back to the bomb defuse situation. So you think the death cam has shown that Maeve was on the bomb?
Definitely.
And that allowed Zero to go for it straight away?
Yeah, he could be trying to fake out the death cam, but because the death cam is so long, it's really hard to know.
Yeah.
RML probably said, you know, he's sticking it, and you can't really play around the death cam in that way. But Zero almost, you know, thought that he was going to just fake it and fake the death cam.
Yeah, that's why he took it as long as he did then.
Yeah, definitely.
But wow, that was really sick play by Maeve nonetheless. The ball's on the table. Sadly, they got cut off. Revolte is on the 9-4 lead up against another rifle round. If CSGO 1 make it 9-6 and win the pistol, they are back in the game. So let's see how they can fare in this one. It's another B split onto the B bombs, and this time it's Sabu stepping it up. Even though he goes down to 0, he did the damage that allows his teammates to be around, and Maeve with a quick refrag has control of tunnels, and it's so vital for the CT's retake to have those additional angles. Even though RML and 0 closed them out, Maeve didn't have the time to help his teammates, and it's another one for RML. As you said, his AWP is on point.
Yeah, and he's the in-game leader as well, dropping 13 frags in 14 rounds so far. He's just hitting some amazing shots, and it seems like he doesn't lose an AWP battle ever. In this whole tournament, he's lost 1 so far against Bubble. And, you know, it's not because there's been a lack of AWP battles.
Look at the quad
there we go.
Getting flashbacks of CSGO, of ESL 1 Cologne back there. But yeah, it worked out for the terrorists. Now, they just have to work on that man advantage, right? Keep trading.
Yeah, and they're speeding up onto the side, and it's a good decision. The problem is that the bomb is stuck, but Foda trying to just, you know, bury his way out of this, and he's going to just be, they're actually going to be changing their minds and going towards the B site, and Zero should be finding Tabu here. It's an advantageous position for Zero, as Tabu has multiple angles he needs to cover. So Tabu's best bet right now is to push Foda, and he does that indeed. He also gets a frag, so now he can take off a lot of time. I think he might have spotted on, no, he did not, and he gets taken out. So now it's a very hard 1 versus 2. The B site on Dust2, one of the hardest bomb sites to retake in the entire game. And Deadfox has to do it all by himself. That is not going to be easy. Just going to be charging through smoke and gets taken out.
It was his best bet to maybe catch the bomb planter with the bomb in his hand still, but sadly the timing was slightly off. So Revolte with 0, keeping up his performance on 16 kills. RML, as you pointed out earlier, with the 14. I mean, they might be the surprise package of this tournament, or they already are. Even if they would lose this game, which I don't want to jinx for anyone, but even if they would, that half was surprising already.
Yeah, he's been stepping up really, really well. But I don't think we're going to be looking for him to carry future games, to be honest. There's a lot of other talent and probably bigger talent in individual terms, you know, individual skill.
Yeah, you're
level.
talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Fox is, you know, is amazing, and also the Danish players seem to be really good. But Maeve will be charging through mid. They're not going to change check the angle there, and Zero actually drops one, but also gets return on instantaneously, and that is a bit of a problem as the T's now have control of mid and can do the B split that we saw, you know, the first half so many times. Now Barcode, he needs to find Flashy, and he just might, but it doesn't look like he can connect, and therefore the B bomb site is in the hands of the terrorist side.
It's up to RML to open it up a little bit, but Datfox has him covered, slows down the other CTs, even though he goes down. It's a 2v3. The CTs have to pick up quite a few headshots if they really want to get back into this round. With Flashy still hanging back in tunnels, it's going to be really hard. They don't have any equipment except for the defuse kit, and that's already dropped as well as Gabeson. So CSGO won win the pistol round. That was mandatory for their possible comeback into this matchup.
Yeah, I would agree. The CT is going to be forcing up now, except for IML, who seems to not be buying armor. He's probably saving for an ult, which would make sense. But you know, we see a lot of eco or force buy rounds going in the way of the players with the you know, least amount of equipment, and to see what we can make from this. Revolte have been hitting their shots so far, and having a Deagle on that side is definitely terrifying.
I freaking love that gun. Those 1 Deags, the most beautiful kills that you can get in CSGO, in my opinion.
Yeah, except for knives. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, cheekily beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a face plant when you make somebody trip. It's kind of beautiful in a sense, in a bad sense, you know what I mean? So now CSGO won already in control of the A bomb site. The CT's trying to get some control back, but they're already on the back foot, trying to reset and trying to go for the retake through short. With Ney and the MP7 holding there, they quickly reconsider again. What did make the CTs go back into CT spawn again?
I think we'll just play this round and we'll see. Whoa, we're actually getting 2 quick frag, 3, excuse me, and it does look like the T's are eventually still going to be picking up this round. Well, Flashy might go down here, and he does. I don't think there's any kids to be found, so he's going to run out of time. But Tabo gets taken out instantly, and that is a phenomenal shot. Fortunately, heck, you can't really do much more than save his armor and a scout, but a great shot. That's the 1Ds we were talking about.
Yeah.
Juan Diego coming in strong.
And I couldn't hold on to myself. Sorry for just wooing in there, but those Deags, you know. And it's such a huge bummer that those rounds can't get turned around because the lack of the defuse kit.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that you can't really invest an extra $400 because you don't have the money, but a great shot, and Zero pointing out to his teammate, can you boost me here? Yeah. So looking good. But it looks like they want to play the B bomb site once again, and it's kind of been the thing this whole game that we've just been seeing B site takes.
It's like, you're doing it all the time, let's try it too.
It worked for you, might work for us.
Yeah, why not? Why not try? And against those anti-ecos, as I said, it can get dangerous. But, oh wow, Zero with the double tag already. This makes it so easy for the P250s and the Deagers to mop up the frags. They really need to watch out now.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're now, you know, calling the stack over towards the B site, and that's a wrong decision as they're coming up short. They only have 1 player on the A bomb site, and a single nade would do massive damage, but they don't really have much to work with here, the T's. Even though they've been winning a few rounds, they've been losing so many players that they don't really have the economy. Gabeson not being able to land more 1Ds here, and he gets taken out. So quick frags from the terrorist side, and that looks like another round on the board for CSGO 1.
Definitely is. But they could have turned out way different, especially with the 2 tags at the start of the round by Zero. Good mid-round call by CSGO 1, showing that not only RML is up to that game, but also CSGO 1.
There's a bit of trash talking going on, I think.
I don't know if that's I think that's a quote.
Yeah.
I think it's a bind. I'm not quite sure though, but it looked like a bind.
It could be. It could be.
Maybe some Hungarian insider.
Yeah, you never know, you never know. But you know, so far the game has been pretty good. We had a very you know, big lead by Revolt at the start of the game, but it looks like CSGO 1 are edging their way back into this game, and it looks to be a very interesting one. It's something different. It's been something different than you know. It's been something different than the first two games where we had Ancients losing with only 3 rounds and then E-Frag losing with only 6 rounds. We're already closer here than ever before, and that is quite nice. So
yeah, now I think if they win this rifle round, I mean CSGO 1, those 4-round lead, it can melt down, and then the CTs could melt down mentally.
Yeah, it's a game that's heavily based on momentum, and right now the momentum looks to be shifting over into the hands of CSGO 1, and if they can keep that going, you know, it's again the T side, the favored side, so they should be picking up more rounds here than on the CT side, and they already have almost, you know, they've picked up 3, they got 4 in the whole first half, so it's looking good for them. They have decent economy as well, and if they can manage to actually win this first rifle round, we're looking at a really, you know, we're looking at a close game, I'd say.
And they have the initiative on the terrorist side. They can pick how fast, how slow, where this game is going. So even if they should lose 2 rounds in a row or something, they can switch the pace themselves. They don't have to stay put in the CT's defensive positions, even though there is a possibility of going aggressive on the CT side. You can't go that all the time, you know. And yeah, we are back in the game, so there was that small pause due to a minor issue that we had. Flashies opening up just as nothing has happened.
Yeah, but it looks like another B take. If Flashy takes out another, that's amazing. Zero hiding in the smoke, this is very clever. They're not going to be looking for him. They think the site is clear, simply because they already had 2 entry frags. But Zero is, in fact, here. He is going to be spotted out, but he takes down 1 and almost kind of forces Maeve to shoot down his teammate, but didn't quite happen in the end. So RML and Foda, they're already going to be just looking to save their guns, really.
Yeah, no real reason for them to contest. Bomb is ticking, no defuse kit, no equipment, B bomb site, hard to retake. No real magic.
But Tavo does not know that it's a family show. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. A LAN etiquette.
Yeah, that's a special word, it's allowed to be used.
Yeah, okay. Special rules. Special words demand special rules.
Or maybe only one player can use it. The legend himself.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The go B. And it looks like they
that's
could.
The game, yeah.
Go B, going for B. Maybe we can see CSGO and try it again. They certainly look like they want to take control of tunnels early on. And yeah, it's the mirror game. In LoL and Dota 2, it's called the mirror game, when you try to do the same that the other opponent did to you in the second half. Or in the second map.
But, I mean, the funny thing about mind games in Counter-Strike is that you keep playing the same strat over and over again, and it keeps working. So, the wise thing, like, just logically, would be to change it up so they don't know what's happening. But then the mind games come in that the CTs are thinking you're probably going to be changing it up, but if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, it can actually, you can keep, you know, winning the mind games that way. But they're winning more than just mind games now, as Maeve takes down Gabeson. That gives them a bit of an opening for Barcode in an aggressive position. That pays off massively. Zero takes down the last 2 remaining players, and Revolt are back on the board, 12-8, and the momentum broken.
It was about time for the CTs to come back into the game. Now they have that magical, very dangerous situation where they finally got around on the board. They went for the double orb as well, so they would be back on a save if they lose this. If they lose this, it's not only going to be 9-12, but also 10-12. And Maeve is making it look very grim already, removing 1 of the 3 rifles in the hands of the CTs. And the thing about the successful strategies is another logic comes in. Why would you change it? Why would you change it if it is successful? That's the other logic that you could apply. And maybe we will see another B split. It's still not really set in stone, though.
Yeah, but it would be the right call, as it seems, now that we have one guy gravitating more towards the mid area here. But it, you know, a mid to B split, especially when you're up against just 3 players, it's really, really hard to deal with. You really need support from your teammates to be able to do that. And, you know, they're going to be lacking support since they're lacking firepower and men. So it's going to be actually RML who's going to be going head-to-head here against a lot of incoming terrorists, and he needs to land some 6 shots. He's totally stuck on the bomb site. He's stuck out in the open now and gets taken out. So it's all left to Barcode, and after losing this round, which they most likely will, it's like economically, it's not going to be looking too good for the CTs.
Nope, not at all. And I think that CSGO One built that image of, yeah, we're gonna go B all the time, and that made Revolt go for a 2-man stack in B, even though it was a 3v5. Usually, I mean, usually we would say go for a 1-1-1, or maybe 2 players on A instead of 2 players in B. But I think Revolt definitely fell victim to those mind games and thought they're going to go B again.
Yeah, the thing with, you know, the A bomb site is that you can push up aggressively and long, you can take control of that area, and you've got that area, and then you can kind of still battle the bomb site. You can do the same with short, and that's why A is a pretty good site to be playing a single man. But B, if you push into dark, it can be quite hard to battle in, and you're almost 100% sure that someone is going to be on dark, or in dark. Whereas, you know, long, short, they usually go one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they decided to do what they did. But RML stuck on the site, tried to land some 6 shots, got flashed a million times. And
yeah, he was kind of, unfortunately, in the wrong position at that very moment when the flash came sailing in.
But Maeve, 2 quick headshots. It's actually just 1, and it's flashy now with 2 headshots. And wait, have they had 2 both? Yeah, okay. They've had 2 a piece. So Foda is the last man standing. He's only got to use P. I like the call about going full eco. It just shows true leadership and a good in-game leader that the economy is just so broken, they shouldn't go for a force. Even though Foda has enough for 5-7 and armor, you really shouldn't. But I think some of the other players actually did go for a somewhat force buy-esque thing there. So I'm not quite sure how the economy is going to be looking next time, but Foda, I'd say the clever decision is to go full eco in this round, as they don't want, you know, CSGO One to just take over with the momentum again.
Maybe, yeah. We talked about it yesterday when we were out in the restaurant, and we're thinking about the future. Revolt is maybe thinking about, what if we go down 13-12? Maybe some additional money could come in handy at that point in time. We might not need it right now, so maybe we have to use it later on, and definitely paid off. Now they have quite a few nades on top of those few rifles that they managed to afford.
And the big green gun.
Yeah, and the big green, obviously, in RML's hands, which is not going to go to work just yet. The terrorists with a quick A-long play, taking control of pit, just leaving Nay over there, probably going to go back into middle, trying to find something more and going for an A split, possibly. Let's see if RML is there. There he is. Definitely showing up for his teammates.
Yeah, a fantastic shot. It's not an easy shot to hit, but he makes it work, and he's just been landing shots left, right, and center. This whole game, this whole tournament so far, actually. At least the lands on him. Here is another one from him. He needs to check his flank, and he doesn't, but he lands another one still, and he gets 3 kills, and that might just be what turns the round around. And the CT is now going to be trying to retake the bomb site, but the terrorists don't really have any very good after-plant positions, so it should be doable.
In fact, they're completely out of position. Gabeson with the double kill, but they definitely have to tap RML on the shoulder a little bit.
Bring the AWP. He definitely brought the AWP to this battle, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's like when you're sent to shop, you know, in a supermarket, and somebody gives you a call and say, you know, bring some garlic or something I need to cook. That is bring the AWP to the table. Revolt up 13-10 right now, so they still hang on to this game, even though they keep losing rounds. They at least keep themselves in there and in contestants. Now Zero got tagged on the way to the B bomb site, and on top of that earlier play by CSGO One on the B bomb site, this is really making it hard. I don't know if that Fox can tell that he tagged him though.
Well, I don't think he can, but RML, that was an absolutely extraordinary play. He decided to just, you know, he peeked out mid. There wasn't really anybody top mid to try to challenge him. So he decided, you know what, I'm just going to rush out into mid. I'm going to be peeking into lower, and that gave him a free frag. He even managed to get out, and he didn't lose any HP. The guy is playing out of his mind. He's in-game leading, and he's also pretty sure leading in franks, and at least in high-impact franks. The amount of entry franks this guy has gotten is absolutely amazing, but Zero really is going to be put to the test here. He's got a bit of support, but it's about peeking at the right time. And they are actually going to lend each other a hand. Now Barco knows, and he's pulling out of the side. That's a very wise decision. Then he can retake with his teammates.
Yeah, he doesn't get caught by two of the other team. He can wait for his own teammates to make his numbers advantage go their way, because a 2v3 retake is so much harder compared to a 4v2. Now it's up to Gabeson though. If he went down, it could have been very, very bad for the CTs. Flashy tries to burst out. The aggressive play is the right thing to do, but it didn't work out for him. Photo was up to the challenge, and Revolte are 2 rounds away from getting to the very top of this tournament already. I mean, not winning it, but already battling for the top.
Yeah, they caused a huge upset in the first, and they're gonna be causing another upset here, that's for sure. I didn't really give them much of a chance in like my predictions at home, but they've definitely shown that they're up to the test. And Dead Fox getting a bit of leg shot onto Foda, but he also takes huge damage due to the grenades raining in on his head there.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of Luminosity. I mean, nobody expected them to win against Envious and against NIP in the same tournament in best of 3s. Now, obviously, we see best of 1s over here, but we are a little bit smaller compared to DreamHack, obviously. But Revolte is just trying to resemble the same play by Luminosity, upsetting their counterparts.
Yeah, it's at a bit of a smaller scale, of course, but it's still, for the players, it's 100% the same feeling that they get.
Definitely.
Because it is probably going to be one of their biggest accomplishments, if they can go all the way to the final of this tournament. And a great shot by Foda. It's actually not a headshot, it's just a body shot, but it counts. Everything counts. He plays this position perfectly. He takes down one more, and RML gets another Flashy caught out here. He should be going down, and it's RML with another. They are now on match point. Oh, wow. Can you believe it? Oh no! Oh yeah, the inside joke. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
That's sensational.
Go on.
Big shout out to the man, Toastbot over there. Yeah. No, Revolte 5 match points, and the man himself opens it up again. RML,
wow,
with the
look at
kill.
This guy.
I think CSGO and simply ran out of options. They ran out of different setups, and they just couldn't come up with something new. They couldn't break the CTs.
Oh wow, this guy.
That's just proving my point even more. Whenever they try something different, there is somebody else stepping up, like Foda on A. And then it's RML all over the place.
If there's one guy who deserves this win, it's RML. Wow, the guy is putting in a massive performance, not only as a player, but also as a leader. Thank you so much for an amazing performance.
Yeah, 0 tap with him.
Yeah, so 16-10 for Revolte.
Once again. So big handshake.